Alright, so this is my run I did yesterday. I was not streaming, but I was streaming it in Discord. So at least a couple people saw it live. And it turned out to be world record. And I don't want to have a silent world record video, so we're just gonna watch it. And I can talk about all the sick things I did because I'm a god gamer. Lies? What do you mean lies? Pretend I'm playing it live? Nah. People are too smart for that. The whole world already knows that I did the run. It's too late. I could have done that if I wasn't streaming it on Discord. Is it cheating? Not really. As long as you did the run legit, then it's not cheating. But this run was really cool. Thank you for the 1-bit, Schultz. I hate you. Your notification will pop up later when we get to the rock tunnel entrance. But this run was really cool because the Pikachu was not good. It was an extremely mediocre Pikachu. Yeah, that is what I hear every time the bit alert goes off. Do you guys understand? It's stupid. I literally have the notification on like a minimum volume. And it's only the bit one that does that. I don't know why. I literally tried lowering the volume 18 times and it never gets any quieter. Also, this was attempt number 392. I'm pretty sure that is like by far the most attempts anyone has of this game. I'm the clown who's played this game twice as much as anyone else, and it finally paid off. 303 by 400. I did it. That's right. I put the time in, and it actually worked for once. I think this Pikachu was plus special defense minus defense. I forget what nature that is, but really nothing special. And it didn't get like crazy AVs anywhere, but it was super high level for a while. Play Candy Shop? No. Can't do that. Also, I think I'm gonna change my splits for this game. Someone kind of suggested the idea a few weeks ago, And it's something I've thought about before, but I think I want to change the splits so that I really block off the big catching sections. And I think that will, after I do a bunch of runs on splits like that, it'll help me figure out like what kind of times are really possible. So like, for example, my first split would be after the second fight in the forest right before I start catching Pokemon. So that I have a split that is solely comparing like my execution for the first 12 minutes or whatever it is, where there's not really any luck involved. And then I'll have a split just for like the start of catching up until Brock. And like I'll section off like Route 9 from the catching on Route 10. Stuff like that. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it yet, but I'm probably going to try something weird the next time I do runs of this game, of this category. I want to count as we go through this. When I was doing the run, I don't remember there being any breakouts. But that's like the thing I'm most curious to see. Because if I had no breakouts, that is ridiculous to run against. You're rereading all of the Twilight books? Nice. We've sent you into a spiral. A Twilight spiral. Yeah, no breakouts is wild. But it happens from time to time. And I do think part of it is the approach I've been taking. Because the way I'm doing things now, there's really only 2 spots where I do 1 controller catches. And they're kind of unavoidable in those spots. It's like the first catch of the game and the Staryu in the water. Are most runs, they're the only 1 controller catches I do. Understandable, Selena. Twilight audiobooks while playing RuneScape. That's about as mentally 12 as you can get. I respect it. Got a special defense AV when I was already plus special defense. I think I was anyway. We'll see when I get to the double kick level up. But I'm pretty sure it was plus special defense minus defense. Which actually was useful. Slightly. Not really, actually. It was useful for my peace of mind, but it didn't turn out to really be useful for saving time. Yo, thanks, Cosmo. I also have never done this before, where I watch back one of my own speedruns in its entirety. So I'm kind of just interested to see how that is. Because so especially with stuff like Odyssey, I feel like it feels very different when you're playing compared to when you're watching it be played. Because I have watched like little bits of my Odyssey runs to see stuff before, and it just feels different watching it than it did when I played it. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like, sort of. Like, some stuff when you're watching it back, it's like, wow, that's actually really fast. And you don't feel like you're that fast when you do it. I don't know. It's bizarre. So I'm curious if that's like a thing in this game, because it's not really the same kind of game. So like my first split I want to make after this fight. That way I can beat myself up over losing 3 seconds to bad mashing or something. It'll be fun, I promise. Oh, I also want to check, or I want to count the number of extra encounters, which there haven't been any so far. The only one I can think of, there are probably a few, but the only one I can think of was the Growlithe. Okay, so I just remembered, this forest was so weird. Because I caught the Bulbasaur, and that is very unlike me to catch a Bulbasaur. But I think I panicked a little bit, because I'm normally looking for the Caterpie and the Weedle. Hi, Etchy. And this Bulbasaur attacked me twice, and I just chucked a ball. And it worked. And I immediately committed to the Ivysaur. But I'm usually looking for the Caterpie and the Weedle, and neither of them spawned. And then the Bulbasaur showed up, and I was just like, oh god. I literally just like impulsively panic turned towards the Bulbasaur. Hi Germ, hi Lime. And then the other weird thing is catching Oddish before the bugs, because they still hadn't spawned. But I figured since I had Bulbasaur experience, I didn't need a level 9 Oddish to get up to level 10 for Pikachu. Just a very weird forest. But it worked out pretty nicely. Waited an extra cycle. And then I think a Weedle spawned like right after I caught this Caterpie. Or it was like in the other patch of grass before the trainer. But yeah, Pikachu's already almost level 10 because that Caterpie was glowing, so it all kind of worked out. Normally if you just catch a level 7 Oddish, Caterpie, and Weedle in the forest, Pikachu's experience is a little low. Like low level 9. Yeah, I got a glowing Weedle as well. So experience was just good. I think neither the Caterpie or the Weedle attacked, which is kind of weird. I always wait that first cycle because like 95+% of the time they do their little attack. But neither of them did that in this run. Yeah, I think something that people should do more of is like evolving this Bulbasaur. Because what I could have done instead is I could have caught the Bulbasaur first, menued again, taken the Bulbasaur out of my party, and then caught the rest of the stuff. to avoid like the extra levels. But like that extra menu is wasting time. Probably almost as much time as the extra levels waste. And you don't get an extra Pokemon out of it, so it feels like a gross thing to do, to evolve or to level up a Bulbasaur like 9 times just for one Pokemon, but I think it's worth it. The only time I would say it's not worth it is if it's the last thing you catch in the forest, which in that situation I wouldn't even bother to catch the Bulbasaur, honestly. Okay, so I hit an extra encounter here. That's 1. It's gross because every time you level up, it's like 2 seconds. And when most things you catch to evolve, they'll level up once and then they'll evolve. So you only have like that 1-2 second level up. Having 9 level ups plus like you have to tell it to not learn moves. It's like compared to a 1 level up evolution, it's like 15 to 20 seconds slower in a vacuum. But there's like context that makes it worth it, I think. And what it being worth it kind of depends on your goal as well. But this run could have reasonably gotten 301. So like, I don't know what kind of goal anyone is going for currently where they shouldn't evolve that Bulbasaur. You can get a 301 with it. Everyone should be doing it. Wow. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna push for sub 3, then that's probably the sort of thing that you want to not do. But that's, like, at that point, you're gonna go back to the ideology of not catching the Bulbasaur at all, I would think. So it worked out nicely. The Oddish got level 10 off the Geodude. Level 10 makes this Absorb on Onix a guaranteed one-shot. I kind of always am aiming for Oddish to be level 10, but it's not a big deal if it's not. You still have a chance to one-shot it at level 9. Usually. So this split actually, because of all the Bulbasaur level ups, it wasn't that great. Like, this is probably a good 30 seconds slower than like my best split here. At least 20 seconds slower. It's like it wasn't that crazy of a start, but a lot of that was the Bulbasaur level ups. But like, because everything else spawned so perfectly and so quickly, it wasn't a bad split, it was just like a mediocre one because of the level ups. Another thing I want to do is mess around with the shopping a little more. Not this shop, but mostly the Vermilion one. Because I think we can be buying 1 less X special attack. And that would either give you money for another potion, which you don't really need. Or there might be a way that we can, like... I want to try selling raspberries instead of Pokeballs, actually. Since I don't ever use the raspberries. But I don't know if what they sell for. It's something I'll have to mess around with. Didn't get Sandshrew or Mankey in that first patch of grass, but I think I got Sandshrew right here. Yeah. It's pretty rare for you to be able to see a spawn from this patch of grass. I kind of run a little more right than I need to try to see if there's anything in that grass, but usually nothing is there. Nothing useful is there. That was lucky. Looking at that now, I can't believe that was an excellent throw. Looked like the circle had gone away completely. But pretty nice to get a Sandshrew there. Also, because I normally catch the Oddish after the Caterpie and Weedle, and it gives them a lot of experience, they're a lot lower level than they usually are here. I can usually be close to having them fully evolve to Butterfree and Beedrill before entering Rock Tunnel, but you know, they're just like hitting level 8 instead at this point. Which sort of bit me in the ass. Not really, it just lost me a little bit of extra time. In a lot of situations it wouldn't really matter, but in this run it kinda did. But it's okay, because it was just from a Clefairy that gave us a shit ton of experience, and Pikachu wound up being level 15 super early, which was definitely a bigger benefit than losing whatever 10 seconds to extra level ups. So you guys gotta help me keep track. There was one extra encounter so far. If I ask you again how many encounters we're at, just say 1. I could write it down, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't be lazy. Gotcha. Yeah, thanks. Oh, this Oddish actually did a crazy thing. It didn't take any damage. Brock missed the Rock Slide, which I think is 90% accurate or something. Or Rock Throw, or whatever the move is that Onix has. And then that Bellsprout missed its attack as well. Or it used Growth. Pretty minor thing, but I thought it was kind of funny. The Oddish could not be touched. Now here's where shit got wild. I got like the maximum multiplier from this Clefairy catch. I think this took Pikachu straight to level 15. That was risky, because a lot of times Clefairy will jump back to the center like that and then immediately attack. Well, it wasn't risky, but like I would have gotten a lot less experience off of this if I missed the throw. But yeah, Oddish and Pikachu both went to 15. Metapod and Kakuna went to 13 and 12, so that's 5 extra levels I wouldn't normally need, which is 10 seconds, roughly. And the Kakuna leveled up one more time, I think, because I didn't menu to take it out of the party until after I caught everything. So it was like 10 to 15 seconds that I lost from that, but it's fine because I wound up being able to take Bulbasaur out of my party early because it's close to evolving already. And Pikachu was just really high level and blasted through everything. I think I had a 2-turn Jesse and James, and I killed the Magnemite in one shot. Those both don't normally happen. I don't remember. I feel like I got everything in this room. Or no, I think I got the Paris later. But I did get the double Moonstone after this. After these evolutions. So like, normally when you're, by the time you get to Misty, the average Pokemon count is like 13. Because it's usually the 6 bugs, Pikachu, Oddish, Clefairy, Paris, Geodude, Magikarp, and then either Sandshrew or Mangy. Or Venonat. Like, you get one of the 3 usually. Oh, I didn't get anything else in that room. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I had like that average of 13, plus I had the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. So I was, and I got the extra Moonstone. So I was like 2 Pokemon ahead, plus I had an extra Moonstone to use. That's like the dream situation. Okay, I got the Geodude here. I don't remember when I caught a Paris. The Moonstones have a chance to respawn at midnight every day. So that's why I changed the clock before the start of the run all the time. I try to make it so that I get to that little room where the Moonstone is right before it hits midnight. And then I pick it up, and then it hits midnight, and then I try to pick it up again, and sometimes it respawns, so I can get 2. Yeah, this worked nicely, because the Bulbasaur is evolving, so when I menu to take everything out, the Ivysaur can come out of the party with it. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the seed thing. Except slightly less annoying because you don't have to do it on like the daylight savings time date. You can just do it any day. Dude, when did I get a Paris? I think it must have been after this catch. Or after this fight. I know I got one. At some point. Don't think I one-shot the Drowsy. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, It's possible to one-shot that Drowsy, but even at level 16 I couldn't do it. I'm usually only level 13 or 14 for that fight. Eevee has a better chance of one-shotting the Drowsy. I said fuck it and threw right away because I was already such a high level. But it worked out anyway, because it didn't attack. That's like the luxury of high levels, you can be a lot quicker with any catches. So getting that big multiplier Clefairy as like the first thing in Mount Moon is really helpful. Level 17 before Jesse and James. Crazy. Yeah, I did this run last night. Or like yesterday evening. Yeah, like Pikachu's so overleveled here. I'm usually level 14 on this fight. 3 levels higher than normal. Sometimes you're 15. 17's crazy though. I think 17 more or less guarantees a 2-turn fight on Jesse and James, which is the best part. Saving turns in double fights is pretty good. Especially ones where you can get poisoned. Not even giving the coughing a chance to attack. It's very good. Ekans only getting 1 chance to attack. So it's like 1 chance of poison instead of like the usual 4, 3 or 4. So at this point, I was 2 minutes behind with 3 extra Pokemon, which probably winds up being about even or slightly behind. But again, a lot of that is just Bulbasaur. Like at this point, I've lost all of the time I'm gonna lose from Bulbasaur, so the fact that I like took that gamble and I lost time to it and I came out even with PB is pretty good. Because now it's just like I'm even with PB and I have 2 extra Pokemon that I almost never have. Yeah, James always has a Rose. But yeah, my goal is always to have 13 caught Pokemon by the end of this split. Anything more than 13 is really good. Gives you some breathing room. Misty's no problem at level 17. I think even if you're like absolute minimum attack, it's still guaranteed to one-hit KO the Starmie if you're level 17. At this point in the run, not at all. Later in the run, extremely. Yeah, this is the kind of Pikachu that even if I had to tank a hit from Starmie potentially, it would have lived, almost certainly. Special defense was really good. One of the only spots where that actually helps you out, but I was so high level that it didn't even matter. Level 18 off the Starmie. It's really good. I'm actually pretty terrified to run against the first hour and a half of this. Or everything up through like Rock Tunnel, so the first hour, 20 minutes or so is going to be really hard to run against. Well, it is a world record. You'll see. Yeah, this is secretly my 302 that I did immediately after the 303. So a thing that I don't really see people do, well, there's reason for it. So like normally people do this section with only Pikachu in their party. And that means every time you kill an opponent's Pokemon, you don't get a text box saying like your Pokemon in your party got experience. But that text box is super fast. It's like probably a fifth of a second or something. So like normally people will take out everything in their party except for Pikachu before Misty. But I'm like, in my runs recently I've been committing to evolving Oddish. So Oddish is always in my party at this point. Meaning leaving the Paris in my party doesn't give me any extra text boxes because the Oddish is already giving me extra text boxes. So I can just change my I lost my train of thought. I can leave the Paris in my party instead of doing a whole extra menu. And it doesn't waste like whatever the 12 seconds it takes to menu into your box to deposit a Pokemon. Which I think even if I was losing time to the text boxes, if I wasn't evolving Oddish, it would still probably be worth it, rather than doing a whole menu just to remove pairs from my party. At worst, it would probably break even. There's like a lot of little benefits to having Oddish in my party that I think add up to make it worth it. And I said I was going to do it until I got like a 302. But I think like this run proved that I should just be evolving Oddish even if I'm going for 301 or better. It's too good. The little benefits and the consistency, and it's really nice. This split was actually damn near perfect as well. Probably the only time loss there actually was the Paris leveling up one time. And I didn't quite get the fastest cycle on the spinner coming up. But that's okay, I usually don't. But I didn't get poisoned anywhere. I didn't get flinched by the Meowth. Oddish is a bad bitch. Oddish low-key carries Pikachu version to potentially be faster than Eevee. If it weren't for Oddish, I think I would call Eevee definitively faster. But Oddish actually plays a pretty big role. My attack, I think this was still range, this coughing, it was a 10 out of 16 range. Because my attack wasn't anything special. The only reason I even had a chance to kill that coughing with a Zippy Zap was because I was level 18. If I was 17, it wouldn't have been a thing. I would have had to headbutt it. So yeah, I actually could have ran up through that cycle, but I was scared, so I didn't do it. But yeah, looking at my splits, there's like 2 minutes of time save here, which is really only a bit less than 1 minute because I caught 2 Pokemon on my previous PB. But I saved like this full 2 minutes, so I think I come out of this split only a few seconds behind with an extra Pokemon, which is really good. Like, there are 2 approaches I could take. I could do the thing where I add extra splits like I think I'm going to do, or I could literally just make my first split exiting Cerulean, because so much shit happens that really the first point I actually judge the run is leaving Cerulean. It's like one of these first 3 splits almost always goes poorly. Or not poorly, but you're not going to have like 3 excellent splits in a row ever. Just because of how kind of the balance of everything works out. But this run was about as good as you can ask for, I think. No, I would just add new splits. In this context, I don't think sub-splits really make sense. Or like for this game, I don't think sub-splits really make sense. I don't really ever use sub-splits though. Like I could use them for Darker Side, because I have like the Kingdom split and multiple splits a lot of times. But I don't know, I'd rather just have like 3 normal splits for a kingdom rather than having sub-splits for it. Yeah, so I'm a few seconds behind, but a Pokemon ahead. So I was a solid, I would say 20 seconds ahead here. Which I think is a bit ahead of Saiyan's PB. And I remember when I was first doing runs, like when I had 306 and I was first doing runs to try to get record, I looked at Saiyan's run as like the god early game. I'm pretty sure this one was ahead of it by a little bit. Like I said, the first hour 20 of this is gonna be really tough to run against. Really nothing major went wrong at all. Yeah, just sitting at the table with the broken leg. Like nothing is wrong. I remember this Route 6 being really sick. The only way it could have gone better is if I wound up getting level 18 on Growlithe earlier. Because I actually did lose time on the one fight on Route 9, I think. But I think I catch like a Pidgey and then a Growlithe and then a Jigglypuff. If I would have got the Growlithe first, it would have been a bit better. But this was like so good. Pidgey, Growlithe, and Jigglypuff almost like directly in a line. I didn't really have to walk too many extra steps out of my way. And still no breakouts. I really don't think this run had any breakouts. I don't remember any. Growlithe kind of started to bait me, but it ran into a good spot eventually. Yeah, you have to catch 50 Pokemon. Every gym has a requirement to be able to challenge it, and the Fuchsia City gym requirement is for you to have 50 entries in your Pokedex. Alright, it's time for the slow trainer skip at Etchy. Oh yeah, look at how slow it was, dude. That was slow as shit. Use my extra moonstone on Jigglypuff. If you want to run this game, you should join the Pokemon speedrunning Discord. There's a lot of good information in there and good guides. The guides are on the speedrun.com page as well. Also good, Pidgey didn't quite get enough experience to evolve, which actually is a good thing because I want to save Pidgeotto for later to potentially evolve into a Pidgeot, which I wound up doing on this run, so it was a good thing that Pidgey didn't evolve. I don't want to go out of my way to remove Pidgey from my party, but it was a good situation there because I have to switch Growlithe to slot 2 anyway. So I was able to evolve Jigglypuff and then take out Wigglytuff and Pidgey, swap Growlithe to the front, all at the same time. Like this stuff right here, I caught 3 Pokemon and I'm finishing this fight, or starting this fight pretty early, I think. Pikachu being level 20 is kind of convenient too, just for like minor menuing stuff, because normally I would want to, against this Eevee, I would want a Zippy Zap Helping Hand because the Zippy Zap isn't really like a guaranteed thing, but I'm pretty sure at level 20 it is. So I can just menu down to Flamethrower, because that's what I'm going to need to use against the Oddish, or the Gloom. Or it's an Oddish, okay. I couldn't remember which one it was. But it's like 2 or 3 inputs that I saved. I guess it's 2 inputs. That's the best shit. The shit in Pokemon speedrunning that I like. Doing stuff to save 2 inputs, fractions of a second. Our brains are always racing to save those inputs in dumb situations that almost never happen. I also just want to add more splits because I tricked myself into thinking that like having long splits on this game was fine because things were so variable, but like any other game I run, I really hate having splits longer than 7 minutes or so. And I have a few splits that are like 20 minutes long in this game. I don't think it's great. I gotta fix it somehow. I think it just makes you lazy. Yeah, like, this shopping menuing looks faster than it feels. It's weird. I actually feel like I'm always slow as shit when I'm menuing in the shops. Okay, so that was awkward because I accidentally scrolled up to 13 super potions instead of 14. So I had to scroll down on the Great Balls 2 times to avoid the extra text boxes from getting Premier Balls. Okay, there's another extra encounter. That's 2. I'm not sure what I was thinking about doing there. I probably should have tried to go more to the right before I ran up. Probably just thought the Pidgey was moving faster than it actually was, and it was going to get out of my way. Yeah, extra encounters don't really bother me too much unless it's just like 3 or 4 on the same split. Then it starts to get really annoying. But they lose less time than breakouts do. They're not quite as bad. So this fight, I'm pretty sure I had to take 3 turns. The Growlithe wasn't very good. Pikachu actually, like... I don't think that was a range at all. I don't think that can be a range at level 20, but Pikachu's attack really isn't good. Just, it's so over-leveled, and that carried it in this run. But this Pikachu kind of sucked, honestly. If I was normal level, this Pikachu would have lost me a lot of time, I think. Based on how things went. So that Clefairy catch was actually really clutch. Yeah, the Gloom didn't die, so... I did sort of a risky thing here by not healing Pikachu, but... it worked out. Like, Pikachu's current health isn't really that risky, but it can die to the Raticate from that health, I think. Hi, Mighty. Yeah, I've had a couple times where I risked it a little too much, and Pikachu dies to the Raticate in this fight, and then I have to revive it because I need the experience from the Route 10 catches. It's an annoying mess, but thankfully that didn't happen on this run. And also the Sandshrew died to the first flamethrower. So yeah, like, honestly, that Growlithe not killing the Gloom in one turn is like one of the worst things that happened in the first hour and a half of this run, which is really not that big of a deal. But that's just how good this early game was. But that's like one of the worst things. One of the biggest time losses. And then like the 2 extra encounters. Those are probably like the 3 biggest time losses. I waited here. I don't know if I would have made that. It might have been possible for me to make that cycle, but I knew the run was good, and I've killed a couple runs to hitting that spinner just being reckless, and I did not want to do that. Okay, I could have thrown at that first. I'm really bad at the Nidoran cycles. I don't know why. I should have known that I could get a throw in on that one. But oh well. Can't win them all. It's always a huge sigh of relief when you get a Nidoran as the first thing on Route 10, because you can't really leave without one or the other. But then I got both of them as the first two things, so I was very happy. Thanks, Jose, but I'm not actually doing runs. I'm just watching my run from yesterday that PB'd. / world recorded. This Route 10 was pretty nice. I had like waited for spawns a little bit, but I pretty much got 5 spawns in a row of like all the 5 things you can catch here. Oddish evolution. When did I menu? I don't think I did it right here. So a lot of runs, I'll wind up having like 20 or 21 Pokemon entering Rock Tunnel. I think by the time this split was done, I wound up having like 27 Pokemon or something. Which is kind of crazy. So I must have menued right here, put the Spearow in my party, and then right after menuing I got a Rattata spawn, I think. And that was the 5th thing on the route. I was just going to move on without it because you can get Rattatas later, but then it wound up showing up right here, I think. Swap the Krabby to the front. Yeah, there's the Rattata. Yeah, I catch the Rattata and it gives experience for both the Nidos to evolve, I think. So I wound up having 27 Pokemon entering Rock Tunnel, which is crazy. And then I was just like ahead by fucking 5 or 6 Pokemon on every split until Blaine. And like, even at this point, I knew this run was good, but Rock Tunnel kills runs so frequently that I literally just, I don't get even remotely excited about a run until I'm out of Rock Tunnel. So even here with my catch count being really good, like, I used to have on my splits the total number of planned Pokemon I wanted to have by the end of that split. For this one, it was always 34 or 35. And you can see on my tracker, I already had 40 planned. Which is unheard of. That never happens. Technically, it's only 39 because I wound up taking off the Arcanine later. but if I needed the Arcanine, I could have gotten it, so it was 40 at this point. I always just mark the Arcanine as a planned Pokemon until I find Rhyhorn. Since it's the backup ride poke. Oh, there's Schultzer's bit. Scared the shit out of me, by the way. Because literally, as loud as you guys heard at the beginning of the stream, it was that loud. Because I did not have my headphones plugged in, and like I usually do. Plus, I wasn't even streaming, so I especially wasn't expecting my bit alert to go off. But there you go, Schultz. You're forever enshrined in this PB. Despite me not streaming it. Okay, so I'm a minute behind with 3 extra Pokemon. Oh, had to dodge some Geodudes, but immediate Rhyhorn is really good. But we usually just like say that's like 30 seconds ahead. 30 seconds for each extra Pokemon. Yeah, your Krabby Evolution bums aren't immortalized, but I will always remember them, Echi. And I will always remember how I immediately reached over to Discord and muted the call. I did laugh though. It wasn't a salty butte. I thought it was funny, but I had to be a little cautious. I didn't need Userly coming in telling us one of his fanfiction ideas when I was like on the champion fight or something. So the Rock Tunnel is the scariest place for breakouts, I think. Like, catching Rhyhorn and Graveler without breakouts is always a big relief. That's how you know this is the run, dude. Also, Pikachu's already level 25. Generally, the goal is to have Pikachu at 25 by the time you leave Rock Tunnel. That's like the bare minimum you need, is for Pikachu to be 25 leaving Rock Tunnel. But I haven't even done the first fight, and I'm level 25. Pretty nice. Also, after this fight, I probably could have squeezed directly past that Geodude. But I was a little baby and I went up and around to avoid it. Probably a smart play. Good decision. Anything to avoid those extra encounters. Okay, what spawned up there? I couldn't... There was something that spawned above the trainer, and I saw something there in when I was doing the run, but I had no idea what it was. Like, it was probably a Machop or Cubone because it looked small, but I didn't want to go back up and check. Yeah, I got the great throw on Zubat. Pretty clutch. Almost never happens. I think I've only gotten excellent throws on Zubat like twice ever. But I don't really try. It's not worth trying to line it up. I just chuck the ball and whatever I get, I get. Thought that Zubat was a Cubone, so I peeked over there. That's how you know the run is spliced, yeah. Great Zubat throws don't exist. If this Pikachu had, like, even slightly above average special attack, I probably could have one-shot this Kangaskhan. Like, that is the thing that continuously, like, blows my mind about this run, is that this Pikachu sucked ass. This Pikachu was not good in any way. But it got the job done. It was a 301 capable run with a shit Pikachu. And that is why I will never, ever, ever reset for a plus special attack or attack nature. You don't need it. Not even remotely necessary for really good runs. The catch luck is far more important. Or not even the luck, but just like the catch routing overall is far more important than how good your Pikachu is. I actually can't believe I saw that Cubone there. It was like off screen entirely almost when it spawned. Still not entirely sure how that wasn't an excellent throw on the Cubone. It looked good to me. It looked good when I did it. It looks good right now. But oh well. I got the catch. That's all that matters. And I love this because I'm at a pretty early point in Rock Tunnel and I already have all my catches. All my potential catches. So the next time the lore tried to refresh, I could just say no. And I did. Nice. Also, no extra encounters in Rock Tunnel so far. That's pretty rare. This is like one of the few places in the game where there's really narrow paths, but stuff still likes to spawn in them. And that generally does not work in your favor. And I guess it sort of does until you have all your catches. Oh, dude, I forgot. This Krabby didn't kill the Rhyhorn. This is the super rare instance where where this Bubble Beam is a range, and the Krabby did not hit the range. It didn't even come close, dude, at level 26. Crazy. We checked this Krabby after the run, and it was minus attack nature, or minus special attack nature. Which, obviously, I think it has to be for that to be a range. But that's super rare. I think there's only been 2 or 3 times ever where my Krabby didn't kill. I think only 2. And that was one of them. But I think that Rhyhorn has a much scarier move than what it used that can actually do a lot of damage to Pikachu and potentially kill it. I don't remember. But thankfully it was just an easy extra turn, heal Pikachu. I was slightly scared though because I already bought 1 fewer Super Potion than I normally do on accident. And I used an extra one on that fight. Or did I use a normal potion? I don't know. I might have used a normal potion because I was scared of that exact thing. But you usually wind up with a few extra super potions by the end anyways. Dodged the Zubat. Still no extra encounters in Rock Tunnel. This Rock Tunnel was so good. One of the better ones I've had with actually getting all 5 catches that you want to get here. Other than the Krabby being shit, it was pretty good Rock Tunnel. Let's see, I had 35 Pokemon leaving Rock Tunnel, 30 in my PB. So at this point, I'm like well over a minute ahead of PB. And this was the point where I started freaking out a little bit, I think. Yeah, this is definitely over a minute ahead of my PB, with 2 pretty big time saves to come. So I was like, okay. This run's actually 301 pace right now. I switched over to record comparison for a second there. And I was ahead of record by probably a good 20 seconds at the time. Which again, the record early game is good. The previous record's Rock Tunnel was not good. So that was one of my bigger time saves. Or I think my biggest time save over Saiyan's run was Rock Tunnel. Like, my PB was already better. Or maybe that was my high 304 PB, actually. I don't know. I don't know. Also, this Nidoking was shit, too. This Nidoking had a minus attack nature. Which is unfortunate. Because it wound up hitting level 28 for the Hypno. If it wasn't minus attack, it might have been able to one-hit KO it in Rocket Hideout. So, like, this run was really good up till this point, but this split is where I lose a pretty decent chunk of time. Nothing crazy, but compared to the excellent Rocket Hideout I had in the 30401, it was a good amount of time that I lost. Probably 30-40 seconds. But it'll be nice having Hideout time save, because Hideout is a ridiculous split. but also kind of a good showcase of how consistent the Nidoking route is. Because this Nidoking was about as bad as you can get. Its attack was really low, but it still works for this route. Perfectly fine. So also, my fucking planned Pokemon count is 46. Like, I caught that Cubone, and I was like, okay, I don't even need to evolve this thing. My planned Pokemon goal coming out of Rock Tunnel is like 42. So I'm 4 ahead of my typical count there. Which, again, mostly is thanks to the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur. Plus the extra Moonstone. That's 3 out of the 4 right there. Like, those 2 things are huge. Super helpful. Because it's otherwise, like, catch count was just, like, average. Without those good early boosts. And then I got an Abra here. I was literally thinking about it as I was running through the tunnel. I was thinking about if I wanted to catch an Abra if I saw one. Kind of a slow catch because I waited for that next cycle, but I think it's worth it to wait. Especially because the experience actually kind of helped me out a bit. It got me up to 28 quicker. But yes, now I have 48 planned Pokemon when I normally would have 42 or 43 or 44. Literally only need to get one more extra catch outside of the mandatory stuff. Which I had the options of Pidgeotto, Psyduck, Ghastly, Tentacool, Grimer. I had 5 good options for one catch that I needed, so super free. I don't know that I've ever had a run other than this one where my planned Pokemon count was at 48 entering Rocket Hideout. It's a very rare thing. Yeah, that Nidoking's attack is so bad. To have a chance, to even have a small chance of one-hit KOing the Hypno, you need 69 attack at level 28. This Nidoking was 62, I think. It's like I was trying really hard to get that level 28, and that's why I thought the Abracash was so good, but Nidoking just wasn't anywhere close to good enough, unfortunately. Which, that's usually what happens. It's actually hard to be able to do this fight in one turn. The Hypnosis miss is good though. Not taking damage anywhere in this fight just allowed me to heal Pikachu. Nidoking was basically already full health. And it made my menu after the next fight very quick, because I didn't wind up healing anything, I think. Like, these two fights went pretty well for not having a good Nidoking. Got like some of the benefits of killing the Nidoking in one turn, even though I didn't kill it in one turn. I got a little lucky here. The Rattata didn't sucker punch me, and then Voltorb I think only hit me once. Yeah, use Swift. Okay, no, it did hit me twice. But Nidoking is 57 health. I don't think there's anything Jesse and James can do that can do 57 damage to Nidoking. So I was like, I know the Nidoking's safe. Pikachu's already full health, so I don't even need to go into the menu to heal anything. I can just swap in Clefairy from the Pokemon menu instead. And like always, I just gotta hope that Pikachu doesn't take damage on this fight, or else I have to menu again to heal. Although, on this run, if Pikachu would have taken damage and not gotten poisoned, because I was plus special defense, I probably wouldn't have healed anyways. As long as you don't get poisoned in this situation. But it used Minimize and I hit through the Minimize anyway, so it was fine. No damage. I would honestly say this was like an average hideout. It wasn't good, but Hideout usually isn't. Nothing really terrible happened either. Everything just kind of went as you would normally expect them to, I guess. It's just like, this is one of the only places in the run where the expected result is actually a decent amount worse than the best result. I guess like one of the more inconsistent parts of the run as far as fights go. Like, Pikachu's special defense was really good, but that didn't really do much for me because it didn't have much of a chance of hitting the helping hand range, regardless. Like, I went for it here because there's no reason not to, really. Because I think even with poison damage, if Weezing hits me again, I wouldn't die. It saved me a potion, at least, by doing that. But yeah, I think it was like a super bad range to kill with the helping hand, which is fine. Not getting poisoned at all in that fight is honestly, like, good. I feel like I always get poisoned. I didn't have to menu to heal in between fights. Anytime that happens, I'm pretty happy. It's just, it took an extra turn than it optimally could. But, you know, that's fine. Just not getting poisoned at all is nice, actually. Trying to think. I think, honestly, other than Victory Road and Lorelei, this was probably the worst split of this run. But I'm still I'm 6 Pokemon ahead here. I'm still probably like 45 seconds ahead of PB at this point. As opposed to being like maybe a minute 15 ahead after Rock Tunnel. And the nice thing about a planned catch count of 48 is I definitely can skip Ghastly. Because like I said, I still have options of Pidgeotto, Psyduck, Tentacool, and Grimer without Ghastly. And Ghastly's a really annoying catch. Probably one of the most annoying ones that... Maybe the most annoying one that we normally plan to get. Just because it's so directly in the way if it shows up. What's up, Jeff? I guess this split was good, but it was another 4-turn Jesse and James fight, which is fine, but it means there's time to save, I guess. Like, on this whole section of the run, a plus special attack Pikachu can probably save close to a minute. Well, it would have to be a plus special attack Pikachu and a good Nidoking. Those two things together could save close to a minute between Hideout and Pokeflute. So actually, I was contemplating this whole time marking Grimer and Muck as my 49th and 50th Pokemon, but I just thought to myself, like, I might accidentally run into a Psyduck or something. God Cycle, by the way. I didn't have to wait for either of those spinners. Good shit. I was like, I might accidentally run into a Psyduck and just, like, catch that instead of the Grimer. Or, like, if I see a Psyduck, I would probably just catch that instead of the Grimer. So I just didn't mark it. But I pretty much had 50 planned at this point. Grimer is just like the safe bet. It always shows up. You're running through Mansion for a good amount of time, and it's like the most common spawn in there. At least I think it is. Yeah, Pikachu's special attack was only 62 here. On Jesse and James, the range is like 10 out of 16 at levels, or at 66 special attack. So it's probably like a, I don't know, like a 4 or 5 out of 16 range. Spoiler alert, it did not kill. But I did go for it, I think. Maybe I didn't actually, because Pikachu takes more damage from wheezing on this fight as well. I don't remember what happened on this Jesse James fight. We'll see though, I guess. Still no breakouts and only 2 extra encounters. There's extra encounter number 3, okay. I forgot about this one. I was so close to making it up the stairs without hitting that Golbat. Literally like half a step away. Unfortunate. So yeah, what happened in this fight? I feel like I went for a helping hand range, but it wasn't a risky one. Maybe they attacked Nidoking. I don't know. It's hard to remember everything that happened in the run, even though it was just yesterday. I haven't had a nice Clefairy Power of Love in a while. Oh, I got poisoned. Maybe I didn't go for the helping hand range. I must not have. Being poisoned is too scary. I would die for sure if I missed the range. So I probably just played it safe. You get the turnarounds on the heal in this fight too. Kind of sucks. Hi, Poe. It's okay. We're here now. Okay, yeah. So I just played it safe and had a 4-turn fight that was really slow because I took a lot of poison damage and had turnarounds on heals and yucky. So yeah, definitely this section of the run is the big time save. Hideout plus Lavender Tower and then Victory Road. And this is the point of the run where Echi was in the Discord call singing along with the level up, with the evolution music. Like a clown. Dump, 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 dump. But still 6 Pokemon ahead at this point and 2 minutes behind, so back up over a minute ahead of PB at this point. And feeling very good about getting time save on the Blaine split because I only needed to catch 1 extra thing. I just left Pikachu in to run away from the Snorlax because I don't think Machop is fast enough. Like, you can fail to run away. And Abra is almost definitely not fast enough either. Like, I think the Abra evolutionary line is generally pretty fast, but I don't know that Abra could outspeed a Snorlax. Kadabra definitely would. But this Pokemon Road was really sick, actually. It made me nervous because nothing spawned in the first big patch of grass, but it turned out really nicely. Oh, I lost 2 seconds running away from Snorlax because Pikachu was poisoned. The stupid status condition lag. It's not even really lag, it's just takes longer for whatever reason. But the timer went down to 55, it usually only is at 57 when you run away. I also had a shit ton of lures that I just did not have a use for, because I could stop luring so early in Rock Tunnel. So, I was not going to catch Pidgeotto. That was like the last thing I wanted, because they're usually so annoying to catch. You have to bury them and then they can still break out. Didn't throw because I wasn't going to make... I wanted to make sure I got an excellent throw, or at least a decent throw. Just because Pidgeotto is so prone to break out. So I was actually really nervous there. I was like for sure thinking that this is going to spiral into Pidgeotto breaking out 6 times. I considered running away from it, but didn't want to waste the time. I'd already encountered it. May as well go for it. Even if it's a kind of slow catch and risky catch. And still nervous because no Ponyta or Doduo yet, and I need both of them. But then Ponyta and Doduo right there for me. It was perfect. Also, I had a shit ton of Ultra Balls because I only needed to catch 4 things. I had 8 Ultra Balls, so I was just chucking them as soon as I encountered things. Just in case I got lucky and they didn't attack. Just because I had plenty to work with. So yeah, like literally at this point, the only thing I needed to catch was Staryu. Which is super nice. Those 2 evolutions get done with the Ponyta catch, also nice. I think the Kadabra already done, but... yeah, sort of. They all have like their like a typical behavior when you encounter them. Like most Pokemon have like one thing that they'll usually do, and then there'll be like 1 or 2 other things that they sometimes do. So it's pretty important to know like what their typical habits are when you're trying to catch optimally. It's like every Pokemon's a little different, so you gotta know for each one what it will do, or what it will most likely do. Like generally ones that you know usually attack right away when you encounter them. It's not worth throwing a ball because you're missing out on your first ball like experience multiplier when you finally do get the catch. So it's better to wait it out for some Pokemon. A catching annoyance tier list. I have some harsh words for certain Pokemon. I did get a little nervous here because it took a while for Staryu to spawn. Like, if I don't have one by the time I get to this island, I always start surfing from the top of the island again just so I have more time in the water, because I'm a little scaredy cat. But I didn't get a Staryu until like the very bottom. Went up a little bit because I thought I saw something spawn up there. Then I wound up getting a Staryu, so that was good. I get really panicked when I don't have what I need and I'm at the bottom of the water. Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, of the things that we normally would catch in any percent, I think Ghastly is the most annoying. But there's a lot of really annoying ones that we don't even attempt because they're so annoying. Yeah, Bulbasaur's kind of annoying too. So this Staryu wasn't good. The Pikachu on this run wasn't good, and the Staryu wasn't good. But they were both good enough. That just goes to show you, you don't need too much from your mains. They just gotta be good enough to squeak by. The catch routing is way more important. Yeah, I'm like 111 special attack, 113 speed. 113 speed is actually scary because 2 of Blaine's Pokemon can outspeed you. So that's extra encounter number 4. But yeah, 2 of Blaine's Pokemon can outspeed you, and if your Starmie has bad special defense, those 2 things outspeeding you can kill you. Not a fun time. Yeah, 111 special attack. It's like, I think that's the minimum I want, where I'm like moderately satisfied with Starmie's special attack. I always feel really annoyed if it's 110 or lower. I don't know why that's like the arbitrary cutoff in my head, but 111 seems to generally work out okay. It's just a little scary on a couple fights. Oh, also, that clip when I passed that one spinner down here and made that ridiculous noise, I had that cycle on this run again, and I could have gone for it, but I was way too scared. The run was too good. Because, like, there's... I don't know, I, like, bumped into too many walls, so I couldn't get the actual fast cycle. But this cycle coming back through, I think I could have made it. But I waited. Because I'm a chicken. There's no reason to throw away a run to saving like 4 seconds or something on that cycle. Because that guy spins pretty quickly. Quicker than some of the other spinners in the game. So you don't have to wait too long. Yeah, I was a little scared for Blaine, because I have died to Blaine before. Having 113 speed. It's not a fun time. Thankfully, this Starmie's special defense, like, it literally had 31 special defense IV. So, I think even if the Ninetales outsped me, which it didn't, Starmie would have lived. Yeah, 31 is as high as it goes. It had perfect special defense. Yeah, this Flare Blitz took me down to 38. I don't think the Ninetales can do 38. Definitely not at this defense. But I won the speed tie anyway, so it was fine. And I was 2 minutes ahead. At this point. Like this, the first 2 hours of this run, like everything up to Blaine from this run, plus the last hour of my 30401 would be a 301, like a high 301. So, it's not going to be anytime soon, I don't think, but 301 is very feasible, and I'm gonna do it someday. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, knowing I'm 2 minutes ahead at this point was definitely freaking out a little bit. Certainly my best pace I've ever been on. I've only had one other run that was like kind of close to this up to Blaine. It was like maybe 20 seconds slower than this, but it was a run where I hit a extra trainer. It's like outside of the extra trainer, I think that run was maybe actually better. That was a few weeks ago. But if I got this kind of pace 2 times within like a month of each other, like it's hard, but I can get it again. And hopefully have a better late game, because things kind of went to shit. Everything up through Koga was still fine, but after Koga it got a little messy. Did I like doing it offline? Not really. I would have much preferred to be doing this run live on stream. But there are certain times when my options are either do offline runs without mic or don't do runs at all. No, the trash cans aren't luck. They're the same every time in this game. In like red, blue, and yellow and fire red, leaf green, they are luck. Had to use 2 super potions because of the flare blitz damage. Small time loss. That's like the only downside of slow Starmies, is you usually have to use 1 extra super potion. Takes all the skill out of the game, yeah. Yeah, I definitely wish that it was just random trash cans that killed all of my runs 2 hours in. That would be so fun. I'm still waiting for the dreaded day where someone's on really good pace in this game and they run into a trainer in Erica's gym. God, that'd be so devastating. Because it's extremely easy to pass these trainers. but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened at some point. I'm glad you like them. I try really hard to only make emotes or commission emotes if I think the idea is really good. I don't want generic emotes. I feel like I've done a decent job of that. Hi, Neo. Oh, just a run that I'm playing right now that definitely isn't a video that happened yesterday. Yeah, me too. That would be so lame if I was streaming this run on Discord with no microphone. Dude, I could have gone above that Growlithe probably to avoid it. But that's 5th extra encounter. I was right though, there was no breakouts on this run. 5 extra encounters is probably about 30 seconds of time loss. But I don't think I've ever had a run that had no breakouts and no extra encounters. That shit is impossible. It was 3:03:07. So I'm still not entirely sure about this. Like, I was still a Doduo for this fight. As far as I know, Doduo will still always kill. But I'm not 100% sure that's true. No, you weren't, Neo. Don't lie to me. But I've done this fight as Doduo a few times, and it's always still killed with the Drill Peck, so I think it's pretty safe. Alright, you guys ready for the best Archer fight of all time? I almost pooped my pants during this Archer fight. It was so scary. It was like good, but scary. Every turn of it was stressing me out. Because it so easily could have gone either way. Nah, the only, like, the first big time loss was in Rocket Hideout. And it wasn't even that bad, honestly. It was just like a normal Rocket Hideout. Like, up till this point, the run was really good. Can't really ask for much better. It was only stuff after this that kind of went wrong, other than Hideout. Yeah, there were little things here or there, but no major time loss, I would say. So, the most important thing is just getting this turn 1 self-destruct. If that happens, you're usually in decent shape to have a good fight. But there's still things that can go wrong from here. So, like, that kills the 3-turn because Muck protected, so it ruined the best case scenario on turn 1. But things kind of worked out okay. Kill the Muck turn 2. I think the Wheezing Dark pulsed me, which is a little scary. Yeah, it did. Because at this point, I'm going to have at least 2 more turns of this fight, and 2 Sucker Punches from Raticate would 100% kill this Starmie. But, so I was scared. At this point, I was scared. I thought I was going to die. But Raticate decided to Sucker Punch the Cubone instead, thankfully. I'd say that happens less than half the time in that situation, but... And then also got lucky because the Cubone cooperated with me. Like, I got Sucker Punched on this turn from the Raticate, and if Cubone wouldn't have killed the Raticate on this turn, I would have had to just, like, keep super potioning and waiting for the Cubone to kill the Raticate, basically. But it cooperated, so I got a nice 4-turn, which I will never complain about. It was a scary 4-turn, but it was a 4-turn. I did lose a lot of time on this split, though. Like, the extra encounter plus the 4-turn, plus botching the menu in the blue fight a little bit, means I lost like 30 seconds, I think. So that's another one of my bigger time saves, actually. It's like Rocket Hideout, Archer, Victory Road, and Lorelei are the biggest things. Sabrina's like a small time save. And then a couple other small things. But it's there. The road to 301 is there. I'll just have to find the motivation at some point in the future to actually grind it out. But it's definitely doable, it's reasonable. It's not a crazy time to go for, I don't think. Also, I was so panicked. I forgot to split for Archer because I was just like so excited that I got a 4-turn. Was not paying attention to the fact that I had a split there. Because there's been so many runs where I was on like 302 pace. And Archer just obliterated me. Like the first run I had where I was, when I was talking about earlier, where it was like 20 seconds slower than this one at Blaine. I lost like over a minute to Archer on that run. Destroyed me. Whenever I'm on good pace like this as well, I always get nervous that I don't actually have 50 Pokemon. But thankfully that's never happened to me. I've never gotten to Koga's gym and been short. I know other people have done it, but I've yet to screw that up, thankfully. There was 1 or 2 runs where I had too many Pokemon, but I've never had too few. That would actually probably be like the most soul-crushing way for a run to die. Thinking you're on really good pace and then being short. Like imagine just forgetting to talk to this guy for Lapras or something. Something stupid. So this run I still had my what are they called? Pewter Crunchies. It's like I haven't been buying full heals in this upcoming shopping trip. Because there's really only, I think, 2 things where you would ever want to use a full heal from here to the end of the run, and that's getting put to sleep by Hypno in Victory Road, which I usually have Awakening still from the very beginning of the game for that. So don't need full heals there. And then getting frozen by Jinx, and also in Victory Road. The Pewter Crunchies are the only thing that I would have to be able to heal that, but I think there's no reason to buy full heals because unless you're completely out of Awakenings, if you're out of Awakenings, then I could maybe see buying full heals to be super safe, but even then, like the chances of you getting put to sleep by Hypno and getting frozen by Jinx are so low that's like not even worth the extra few seconds of menuing to buy them, to even buy 1 full heal. I was also like very paranoid doing Sabrina's gym puzzle. Like I know this shit. I've done this so many times. I don't need to look at notes to know which teleport pad to go on to, but I was like obsessively referencing my notes during this because I was so scared I was gonna fuck it up. Good pace makes you act very silly sometimes. Got the nice cycle where he turned up right away. Alright, so this fight actually scared me a little bit too. A couple unusual things happened. But this is another one where the Starmie's really good special defense kind of saved my ass. Potentially. I got turn 1 reflect, which normally you want turn 1 light screen so that the light screen runs out as soon as possible. But, or you want like no light screen on the first 2 turns so you can just skip the X speed. But unfortunately, turn 2 light screen is what I got. It's like the worst case scenario on Sabrina. And also, if I didn't burn Mr. Mime there, that was going to be a range to kill in 2 shots, which actually would have been fine. Because I need to wait for the light screen to wear out anyway. But I decided to just tank a hit from this Alakazam because I was like, there's no way this Alakazam can kill me from half health. And then it crit me. And for a brief second, I was terrified because I wasn't thinking of the possibility of a crit. I was just like, oh no, that Psychic does a lot of damage. But it was just because it was a crit, and it still didn't kill me, so it was fine. It did scare me though. There are a couple things in this late game that scared the shit out of me. Where if like my defenses were any lower than what they were, the run might have been over. So yeah, it was a scary fight, but I lost the equivalent of 1 turn, basically, that's all. Or like a half a turn. So not too bad, really. Still a minute and a half ahead at this point. So running against this old PB, this Koga split was like my biggest time save from here to the end of the run. Not even a better Starmie. Like this Starmie I had, while it's not good, it's perfectly capable of like getting through the game as fast as a higher special attack Starmie. You just have to get a little luckier, that's all. On a couple fights. But there's not really too much of a high special attack Starmie can do that this one can't. It's like Hydro Pumps on Agatha, which are stupid and risky anyways. And then like you can sometimes save a turn on Champion with a really good Starmie. But that's about it. Everything else can be done equally as good with the Starmie I had on this run. There were just a couple really weird things that happened. This gym, however, was nearly perfect. Doesn't happen too often. You lose a pretty consistent 15 to 20 seconds to my gold split doing this gym. At least I do. But this was pretty nice. I got turn 1 protect from Koga while I was using the X special attack, and then the Beedrill didn't protect, so fastest, like, optimal Kaden fight. Which this man loves to destroy me, so always happy to see that. I don't think anyone has overall had worse luck on Kaden than me, like, lifetime. And Koga was really good too. I got pretty much the same thing. There was one extra protect in this fight, I think. Which I've never had. I've never gone through Koga's gym without getting any extra protects. I've only heard of it happening one time. So as far as I'm concerned, what I got here was like best case scenario Koga's gym. You know, the Weezing didn't protect, the Venomoth didn't protect. I think the Golbat did, and then the Muck didn't. Yeah, okay. So that was the one protect in this gym that wasted time. Pretty good stuff. So 146 ahead. I guess we can call that 302.15 pace. It's like even with a kind of messy Archer split, I was still on low 302 pace, like kind of even with Etiquette's EV record at this point. And then things got a little scary. Well, not yet, they didn't, but... No. Starmie died on Lorelei, the run would have been over. There were some sketchy things that happened on Lorelei, though. We'll get there. There were a couple tough decisions I had to make from here to the end. And I think I made the correct decisions, but I kind of got fucked anyway. Which sucks, but what can you do? Like, I'm happy with my decision making, but I got pretty unlucky in like 3 spots. I guess only 2. So I was actually, I think, barely high enough special attack where this Hydro Pump wasn't a range. I think I was 123 special attack here, and 122 it's guaranteed. I don't think I would have, like, even if it was a range, I don't think I would have done the 2 controller fight. It's too slow. Alright, are you guys ready for the butt clench of the century? So, if you get crit by this Dugtrio on anything other than the first turn, you're dead. It's done. And another thing, like, as far as I know, if you get crit on turn 1, you won't die, no matter what. But this fucker crit me on turn 1 and put me to 12 health. And, like, when I saw my health going down by a lot, I was like, okay, it's a crit. I was like, but it's still fine. But then I saw my health still going down. I was like, oh god, maybe it's not fine. And that was all in, like, the span of 1 second, probably. I was going through it here. But it's okay. It worked out. I just had to take an extra turn to heal, but it worked out. I didn't die. But now, this is the point where I was thinking about the fight against Naomi in Victory Road. And I was like, I'm already, like, a few seconds behind Etiquette. I had to take an extra turn to heal. Like, I don't think it's really feasible to beat Etiquette's EV time on this run. But I'm still very far ahead of the Pika record. So that was like the one situation where I would consider doing 2-controller Naomi if it could, like, secure Pika record, but it wouldn't, like, kill the chances of beating the EV time. So pretty much around here, I decided to do that. Hi, PK. And I would be somewhat surprised if you ever saw me go for 2-controller Naomi again. I think it was the right play for this run. I'm glad I did it. But now I'm not sure that there's a situation that I would want to anymore. Yeah, Etiquette's time is really good, but I'm gonna beat that time someday. And I think he will too. He's just really good at the game. He did it over a year ago too. Like, he was just... Like, at the time he got that run, he was so much better than anyone else was at this game. It was crazy. Like, people are only now starting to kind of catch up to his ability, I think. A year later. He was ahead of the curve for sure. So unfortunately, I was thinking doing 2-controller Naomi would still give me a very strong chance at 302 even, which it should have. Like, I did have a strong chance at 302. But things after Naomi got too messy, just slightly too messy, and I couldn't quite get 302. Like, the combination of things that happen is really not common at all. That's okay. Again, I think I made the right call, even if I was trying to get 302, which I was. I think I made the right play, just didn't quite work out. Because this Starmie would have had, like, a coin toss range against Kangaskhan with the Hydro Pump. And chances are I would have either missed the Hydro Pump or missed the range and died. Didn't want to risk that. The 2-controller fight is super safe. And I did wind up hitting the Hydro Pump range, of course. So I didn't even take damage on this fight. I have this weird problem with this fight. It's happened a few times where I just forget that I'm supposed to use an X special attack. And I almost did it on this run. I remember, like, barely remembering I have to use an X special attack at the last second. Something about this Hypno, it's just not very intimidating to me, I guess. Avoiding Hypnosis there is good. It's super fast. I would've got put to sleep. It's just annoying. It's not really threatening. Especially since I was at full health. You can see the little stutter when I run past that spinner because I'm always afraid he's going to be looking up. I think that guy has 2 Pokemon that are not hard to kill, but it's a bad time loss at this point in the run. Slow Alexa skip. I'm always slow on that though. I'm too paranoid. I ain't trying to fight her Dragonair. And this fucking Jinx. This piece of shit Jinx that I didn't know was a range. Look at that, dude. I've never seen somebody not kill this Jinx with a Hydro Pump. I've seen missed Hydro Pumps plenty of times, but I've never seen someone miss that range. I had no idea it was a range until yesterday. And unfortunately, it cost me the time of an extra turn. It also cost me the time of having to heal before the next fight because Power Whip from the Lickitung would definitely kill Starmie from this health. So I had to Hyper Potion after this fight, which kind of sucked. I was not happy. Like, if the Psychic that the Jinx used didn't crit me, I maybe wouldn't have even had to heal. It's like, so much went wrong in that fight. What's up, Cryptic? Also, I was 131 special attack, and the Scald against this Lickitung is only guaranteed at 132, so I Psychic'd it to be safe. Yeah, dude, not like you were one of the chosen few who saw this run live in Discord. Yeah, that Power Whip did, what, 52 damage? I would have died if I didn't heal. Yeah, I lost like 25 seconds in Victory Road. Probably 10 of that was the 2-controller fight, and the rest was Jinx. I think so, Cryptic. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet. As of right this second, I'm thinking I might do a little bit of Baton Pass. But I'm probably done with any percent for the time being. I'll come back to it and get 301 eventually, but I don't know when that will be. Yeah, I might do an AOP race actually within the next couple weeks. Joker was talking about maybe wanting to do one soon. Haven't done one in a little while. Haven't done one since my PB. So we might do a race soon. Alright. And then Lorelei. Oh man, this fight was so dumb. Okay, so you can use 3x special attacks to avoid ranges on this fight, and I was gonna do that. But right here, I accidentally clicked on fight instead of bag. And once I clicked on fight, I was like, nope, fuck it. We're going in. And this Lapras is a range if you only do 2x special attacks, and I hit the range. And then you have to Hydro Pump this Jinx instead of Scalding it. And here we go. Here's the roller coaster. Fucking miss Hydro Pump, get hit by Blizzard. Miss Hydro Pump again. Blizzard miss. And then finally fucking hit the Hydro Pump. But I don't know if that second Blizzard could have killed me. I think it had a chance to. Thankfully it didn't. Thankfully it missed. But I did lose a lot of time here. I mean, some of it was just like menuing before Lorelei instead of before Bruno. Sometimes I do it before Bruno. But I definitely lost at least 10 seconds to the actual fight, I think. Oh, maybe not quite. I don't know. Hard to say. But I did have to heal here. Thankfully, healing here didn't lose me time because I wound up not having to heal before Agatha. Which I was barely able to do. But I was able to do it. So I was annoyed at the in the moment that I had to heal before Bruno, but when I wound up not having to heal before Agatha, which is where I normally heal, it evened out to a normal situation, so it was fine. But definitely lost time on Lorelei, unfortunately. Here I just scalded the Onyx to save the Psychic that I used earlier on the Lickitung. Thankfully remembered to do that. You either have to scald that Onyx or Thunderbolt the Golbat on Agatha. Yeah, either one works, really. I think Scalding the Onyx is like one input better or something. I guess it's 2 inputs better. But yeah, I was... What's my health here? 93. I think the Wheezing Thunderbolt range, the maximum range was like 90 it could do to me. So I was like perfectly safe to go into this fight at 93. Neither Arbok's Crunch nor Wheezing's Thunderbolt could kill me. Well, I mean, a crit could kill from full health, so the crit, it doesn't change anything. I didn't get Power of Love on this run. A lot of my, like, recent PVs have gotten Power of Love. So yeah, like, that did a lot of damage, put me into red health, but I knew it couldn't kill me unless it crit. So I wasn't really sweating that. Pretty standard Agatha. Just no Power of Love, which is fine. You're not always gonna get it. I don't know. I don't know that anybody knows, like, exact numbers of how likely it is. And I think it can vary from run to run. Well, actually, no, I don't think it can. Not for Starmie. For Pikachu it can. Because sometimes you don't get the ability to get it at all with Pikachu, and usually you get it at like level 28, 29. After it's basically useless. So I was like so panicked trying to figure everything out for this Elite Four that I didn't know what my special attack was. The Gyarados on Lance can be arranged with Psychic if you're, I think, 132 or lower special attack. And I didn't know what my special attack was, I just knew it was kind of low, so I Thunderbolted the Gyarados on this fight and lost, you know, 2 seconds to the turnaround. Because I wasn't paying attention, but I did have enough special attack to kill it with Psychic, guaranteed. But, you know, that's whatever. I don't really mind a 2-second time loss to make sure my run doesn't die to something stupid like that. And then I leveled up to, I think, 136 special attack for Dragonite, which was a 14 out of 16 range, I want to say. So I did have to hit that range, and I did. So Lance was fine. Very nervous, though. Anytime that Dragonite is a range, I get really nervous. Because I've gotten fucked by it a few times. Probably more times than I realistically should. For only doing this fight, what, 30-something times? So yeah, there's the Thunderbolt, the turnaround. Stupid, but whatever. It's minor. It didn't cost me the 302. Yeah, 136 special attack. That's a 14 out of 16 range, I'm pretty sure. On Dragonite. That would be funny, Neo. I agree. Dude, I've never been so nervous entering the champion fight. I was just like, please let this be over. I would have been very sad if I died on this fight. For at least like a half hour, and then I would have been fine. But this Starmie's special defense was really good, so there wasn't really a concern outside of getting crit. Most likely Minnow, yeah. Or I think, definitely. To my knowledge, that Dragonite will always use whatever the fuck move it has, Outrage or something. And I was only like half health, so it definitely would have killed me. Sometimes you can get the Hyper Beam on the last turn of your setup, and then you can use the recharge turn to heal to full. And then if you miss the Dragonite range, you might not die if your defense is good. So from here I was in the clear. Unless Vileplume did the thing. Apparently Vileplume can use some other move other than Solar Beam that can do a lot of damage to Starmie. But here was my pop-off that nobody will ever get to hear. You didn't hear it. My mic was still muted. It was my special pop-off moment to myself that nobody else will ever experience. Oh wait, I'm popping off right now! Actually, there was a scary thing that could have happened there. Because I used the Thunderbolt on Gyarados, on Lance, I had an extra Psychic, and if I would have Psychicked that Slowbro, I don't think it kills. But I also don't think the Slowbro has anything that can take me out from the health I was at. So maybe it wouldn't have been that scary. But I'm usually out of Psychics at that point, so there's no chance of misinputting on the Slowbro. Yeah, I did it. Not quite a 302, but I did do it. And I promise I'll come back for 301 at some point. I really want it. But I've already spent so much time on Let's Go this year. I have other things to accomplish too. I've pretty much done Let's Go for the majority of this entire year. I did like a few weeks of Minish Cap, I did a few weeks of Odyssey. I did like 3 days of out of gas. I'm sorry, Neo. I can't force myself to cry. I didn't cry when I got this time. I popped off a little bit, but I didn't cry. Just like I said I wouldn't. Maybe if I got 301, I would have. Who knows? You can't predict these things. Yeah, the mic was unmuted shortly after splitting for the end. But not for OBS, it wasn't. Only for Discord. Yeah, I've done so much Let's Go this year, and it's been fun. It's paid off. I've gotten some really good times. But I do think it's time to work on other things.